Hello, Vinyl Community. This is Tommy, and we are live. I was going to do a video on this, but I thought, you know what? I'm not going to do a video. I'm just going to go live and talk about the Record Store Day Black Friday list that was released today. So I'm going to wait and let some folks join in here. Hopefully they will. We'll see. And we can talk. We can talk about the list. We can talk about what's on it, what's not on it. I usually do a video for Record Store Day, Black Friday, and so, or the list. And so I have printed it off for quick reference, and I may actually pull up another browser here in a second. I see Sam St. John is in here. Hi, Sam. How's it going? Sam has got a channel, and if you haven't subscribed or viewed Sam St. John's channel, I highly recommend it. He's got some great stuff and a young talent that is involved in the VC, and always good to have some folks along. What I'm going to do, I'm going to stay live. Hopefully this will work. I'm going to try this. I'm going to pull up another internet tab, and I'm going to go to the Bull Moose website. The reason I do this is because I like to get an idea of how much things cost. So we can talk about some prices maybe and all that. I'm not sure. I've not done a good live chat. I have a few folks in, so I'm gonna let some try to get some people to join in. If not, I'm just gonna talk about the list. And I don't know if pulling this other tab up has messed me up. I don't know. Yes, Bull Moose does have the Black Friday list up. So usually you can pull some prices. So I've got that pulled up as well. All right. So anyway, the Black Friday list for Record Store Day. And as we're waiting on maybe whoever to join in, I mean, I know that I just kind of pop on here. I just popped on here, so I know that I can't expect tons of people. But here's the thing. When I end the stream tonight, and we'll talk for however long, I'll put the video up. Hey, Beetle Brad's in here. Hey, Beetle Brad, good to see you here. Glad you could join us for the live chat. Concerning the Black Friday Record Store Day list, which is what we're going to talk about. And I have the Bull Moose site pulled up, so I can refer to that if we're going to talk about prices or whatever. That's usually a good indicator of where things are. So, yeah. So, Sam St. John is here. Beetle Brad is here. Both of those guys have channels, which I'm really excited to plug and don't mind doing so. So if anybody is watching this video, even after the fact, go see Sam St. John and Beetle Brad's channels. All right, guys, let's get started. The Record Store Day Black Friday list. Now, as per my usual whatever when I do these things, I don't go title by title down the list. I just kind of give a once over and go through it. So, you know, there may be some stuff on the list that you want to talk about. Let me know, comment. I'm seeing the comments as they pop up. So, let me know what you think. But anyway, the Black Friday list for Record Store Day. Let's get started. The first thing that's up are the exclusives. I don't know if you can read that or if it's backwards. I don't know. But these are the releases that are exclusive to Black Friday Record Store Day. And so they are only available on Record Store Day. And as those of you who know, I don't really believe the numbers that they give us of the quantities. So I don't pay a lot of attention to that. It gives me a rough idea, but I don't use it because I don't believe them. I think there are more than what they do. All right, and I will say too, and like I said, I'm not going to go title by title. I'm just not going to do it. You go to the Record Store Today website and look through it yourself to see what's on there. But I'll just go through kind of some stuff that jumps out to me. Let's see. Angelo Badalamenti, the composer who did the music for Twin Peaks, longtime collaborator of David Lynch, the Blue Velvet soundtrack deluxe edition. It's a 2 LP set. I'm probably going to skip it. I kind of put a mark by it just because I'm a David Lynch fan. But probably going to skip it. Canned Heat and Memphis Slim, Memphis Heat. That might be interesting for fans of blues music. And that's a French import LP. LMR is the label. LMLR. I don't know that label. But and it says it's limited to 3,000. John Carpenter, the director / composer, his Ghosts of Mars soundtrack is coming out. The Jim Carroll Band, for fans of Jim Carroll, Catholic Boy on Fat Possum Records. It's a 2 LP set, limited to 1,500, if you believe the numbers. One that I kind of marked on my list that I don't know, I may or may not be interested in. Songs of Love and Hate by Leonard Cohen, the late great Leonard Cohen. 50th anniversary. It's on Legacy. There's gonna be 5,000 copies of it out there. So I don't think it's going to be extremely limited, but it's probably going to be one of those things. If you want it, get it. Fans of British rock, Dave Davies, Kinked, 1,500. It's on Red River Entertainment. Lana Del Rey. There's a couple of Dio reissues that are on the list. Holy Diver, The Last in Line. There's a live Dire Straits set that's coming out. That's coming out on Rhino. It's an EP, so it's probably not going to be much to it. Billie Eilish, a 7-inch. Evanescence. Kraft is doing that. Kraft has done some really good work and put out some good stuff. So I'm not a fan of Evanescence, so it's not anything of me. One that I kind of highlighted that I'm a little interested in is the Fleetwood Mac alternate live. I know they've done like a deluxe set on the live, and I pulled this out of my collection just to show it because the reissue that recently came out of Fleetwood Mac live. This was from the Tusk tour. I really enjoyed this record. I think it's a gem of a live album, and supposedly what I'm thinking is the alternate live that's coming out is going to be taken from the same tour and probably stuff that was in that box set on CD. And so, I kind of marked it as if to say that I'd be interested, but we're still in the exclusives list. Billy F. Gibbons, forgive me, Billy Gibbons, Hardware. That's a CD that's coming out, so it's not even a record. But Billy Gibbons, ZZ Top fans would be interested in that. The Gun Club, Daryl Hall and John Oates, live in Fall in Philadelphia. The demos. This looks like it's going to be early demos, 68 to 71. So fans of Hall and Oates, Reverend Horton Heat. There's a Jimi Hendrix Experience, Paris 1967. That's on Legacy. 13,200 copies. So I don't think that's going to be that scarce. Iron Maiden, it's a picture sleeve. Chris Isaac, Beyond the Sun. The Tommy Burton demos. Sam is asking, when do the Tommy Burton demos get released? They actually were released many years ago, but no one cared. So we're going to keep those in the can. Chris Isaac, Beyond the Sun. That's a Sun Records. That might be interesting for fans of Sun Records. It sounds like something Chris Isaac did. The Jackson 5, ABC, Anagram Music. I'm not familiar with that label, so I don't know if it's the album ABC. Michael Kamen, the Iron Giant. It's a picture sleeve or picture disc. There's a couple of Christmas things here. Carole King in concert live at the BBC. 6,500 of these things, so probably not too rare. King Sex, Please Come Home, Mr. Bulbous. That was one that was supposed to come out on the regular Record Store Day, and it got pushed back. probably because of manufacturing issues. There's a John Legend 2 LP set. A couple of Little Feat records coming out on Rhino, some live stuff from 1974 for fans of Little Feat and Lowell George. Local names, Barry McGuire, Eve of Destruction. That's another on that Anagram label. I don't know anything about it. So Mobb Deep for the rap fans, Free Agents, a 2 LP set. Motorhead, more Motorhead. There's always Motorhead on Record Store Day. The Lost Tapes, Volume 1, live in Madrid, 95. That's a 2 LP set. There's a Buck Owens. That I didn't see that at the first glance. Bridge Over Troubled Water. That's coming out on Sundays. Ozzy Osbourne, No More Tears. That's a picture disc. Poison. I know you Poison fans were really looking forward to this. Flesh and Blood, which was the second album. That was the follow-up. That's a French import. 4,000 copies. I don't know. Rolling right along. Lou Reed and Chris Christopherson. That might be interesting. The Bottom Line Archive series, In Their Own Words. It's a 3 LP set, so it's probably going to be pricey. There's a reissue of Healing by Todd Rundgren. Todd Rundgren fans, and that's on Rhino, 4,500. The last Todd Rundgren Record Store Day release was a Chris Bellman cut, so that might be worth a look for fans of Todd. I mean, Todd Rundgren albums, the originals, did not sound that great. They weren't really cut well. They crammed a lot of info. They're kind of notoriously bad sounding. So Rundgren's in great need of reissue, I think, particularly on vinyl. Bobby Rush, blues music, Chicken Head's 50th anniversary, 1,500. That's an EP. Let me get through this. Squirrel Nut Zippers, Lost Songs of Doc Sushan. The Staple Singers, the 25th of December. That's on Craft. Again, these Craft recordings, they kind of like make me look. Stray Cats, live at Rock Palace. That's some music on vinyl. That's a 3 LP set, so a lot of music there from the Stray Cats. There's a Joe Strummer, fans of The Clash. Johnny Appleseed. That's going to be a 12-inch single. Let's see. Tank and the Bangas, Tesla, Mechanical Resonance. That's, again, that label, that French import label that the Poison is coming out on. Let's see. Weird Al Yankovic, Osaka Pop Star, Beat on the Brat, maxi single. It's a 12-inch single for the Weird Al fans out there. Let's see. Now, that's it for the exclusives. And like I said, there's more. I didn't go list by list, or artist by artist. But that's the stuff that's on the exclusive list. Now, also, this is the next part of the list, the limited run regional focus releases. So these are the ones that basically say you may or may not get these, depending on where you live. And we'll go through these quickly. The Avett Brothers, Emotionalism. That's for you, Sam St. John. Ramseur Records. Ramseur, interesting. Dolph Ramseur, I think he's the manager of the Avett Brothers. Big wrestling fan. Anyway, don't ask me how I know that. That's a cassette. It's going to be limited to 500 copies. Bee Gees, 3 Kisses of Love. I just saw the Bee Gees doc. I know Beetle Brad is a huge Bee Gees fan. He's not, really. Let's see. Chick Corea and Lionel Hampton in concert. 1,000 copies. David Crosby and Graham Nash, Wind on the Water. That's going to be 1,000 copies. There's some Tao Falco, Johnny Johnson, Johnny B. Bad on the Euclid record label. So that's interesting. Let's see. Going through the list. Thelonious Monk, Septet, Monk's Music. Usually you can catch some good jazz on Record Store Day. Brad's laughing about my Bee Gees. Shout out. Night Ranger, Somewhere in California. Let's see. And some of this stuff I just don't know what it is, so I'm not going to talk about it. But that's it for the limited run stuff. And finally, the last part of the list is the Black Friday first releases. Now, this is the stuff traditionally that is going to come out in mass quantities. It's not limited. It's stuff you can probably eventually order from Amazon. The idea is that they're going to release it on Black Friday, so you can get it. And I'll be honest with you, the way records are being pressed right now, it's sort of like you got to get it while they're being pressed, because if you wait around, you may have to wait for a second run. The presses, the record presses are so backed up right now. So anyway, but this is the stuff. There's a couple of Aerosmith, 1971. The road starts here, an LP and a cassette. There's a Chet Baker. I think Sam St. John would be interested in that. Chet Baker's great. Albert's House. Liberation Hall is the label. Don't know anything about that label. There's a Big Brother in the holding company. It looks like it is one of those Monterey International Pop Festival foundations. Those of you that remember the Who release that came out, this is basically the Janis Joplin set that came out, or the Janis Joplin live set from the Monterey Pop. And I'll tell you, that was a really nice set. So I might, looking at this, I might have talked myself into that because it's a great live set. And that was a career maker for Janis. That was an important set. Let's see, Blackberry Smoke, Stoned. Roy Buchanan, The Prophet. It's the first Polydor album. That's on Real Gone. Canned Heat, Friends in the Can. That's on Friday Music. And you know how I feel about Friday Music. Proceed at your own risk. Ray Charles, Live in Stockholm. Alice Cooper, Brutal Planet. Miles Davis, Live Evil. That's a 2 LP set. That's on Legacy. 10,550 copies. Yeah, I'm with you, Sam St. John. He's mentioning Emotionalism, the Avett Brothers. He said if it were on colored vinyl, he doesn't want a cassette tape. I'm with you. I think that's just, it's a waste to me. Let's see. Screaming Jay Hawkins, My Little Shop of Horrors. Again, Liberation Hall. The one that I've highlighted. Now, this is the one release on the whole list that I am completely in for, that I will get. It's on the first run, is the Jason Isbell and the 400 unit Georgia Blue. It's a 2 LP set, 12,000 copies. It's going to be out there. But yeah, I want the Jason Isbell. Georgia Blue, it's going to be a covers album, so it's not like a new studio album, but I'm just a fan of Isbell's, and pretty much if he's involved. Now there's some, from what I understand, there's some guest artists involved, like John Paul White from the Civil Wars, if you remember them, and a few other people. So that's coming out, and that's my definite. If I don't get anything else on Black Friday, that's the one I'm going to get. So there you go. Let's see. Judas Priest, The Best of Judas Priest. That's a 2 LP set. LA Guns. So some good rock and hair metal for you guys. LA Guns, Walking the Dead. KD Lang, All You Can Eat. That's kind of interesting. Maxwell, Now. Modern English, After the Snow. That's coming out. 1,000 copies. Mr. Big, Lean Into It. Here's one that may pique your interest. Willie Nelson, Merle Haggard, and Ray Price. They did an album back in the mid-2000s called Last of the Breed, and they did a tour, and this is going to be a live set from that tour. Big hits live from the Last of the Breed tour. Willie, Merle, and Ray. So if you're fans of that stuff, it might be interesting. A couple of Charlie Parker's, Bird in L.A. There's an LP and a CD set coming out of that. Art Pepper. For the jazz fans, like I said, lots of good jazz. Oscar Peterson, it's a 3 LP set. The Art Pepper is a 4 LP set. That's on Omnivore. I'm skipping around. Chuck Prophet, No Other Love. I'm going through the Shangri-La's, The Best of the Redbird and Mercury recordings. That's on Real Gone. Spoon. All it says is Spoon, Matador, 7-inch. Yeah, so there's that. There's a Dusty Springfield that looks pretty cool. It's a 2 LP set, the complete Atlantic singles, 68 to 71. So fans of Dusty Springfield might want to keep an eye on that. Again, Sun Ra, you can always count on a Sun Ra release for Record Store Day. Omniverse. Big Mama Thornton, Sassy Mama, live at the Celebrity Jazz Club. Just in Time Records. Thundercat. U2 Gloria 40th anniversary EP, 7,000 copies. So fans of U2 can get on that. Americana Railroad, various artists collection, 2 LP set. We're getting to the end of the list here. The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou, the motion picture soundtrack. That's on the Disney label, 2 LP sets. Now and Again Records, Tickets for Doomsday, Heavy Psychedelic Funk Soul Ballads and Dirges, 1970 to 75. And finally, Nancy Wilson, You and Me, which I believe is a new studio album she's doing. Also, Dave Van Ronk, Hear Me Howl, live 1964, Rock Beat Records, limited to 800 copies. And guys, that's the list. That's everything that's on the Black Friday list. So, is there anything you guys want to talk about that list? I'll be honest, I'm kind of underwhelmed by it. There's nothing on there that I'm just like bowled over. The Jason Isbell I'm excited about, but it's a first release, so it's not like, you know, one of the rare things. Like a few years ago, they did that Live from 1979 thing, which was really, really, really cool. And I got that, and ended up being a pretty rare record. But this one is you know, it's going to be a standard set. I mean, there's a few things on there like the Janis Joplin. And, you know, I'm always sort of, you know, the last couple of record store days I've been like, and then I end up getting more stuff than I originally thought I was going to get. So I might, you know, grow a little bit. Oh, Tim, you missed the list. Tim Allen's in here. Hi, Tim. Good to see you. Let It Be Outtakes, Beetle Brad said. Yeah, no Let It Be Outtakes. I guess they're waiting on you to buy the big, huge box set. But I think that it would be great if they did a Let It Be single, at least for Record Store Day. They've done that before, like they did the Strawberry Fields, Penny Lane in Anticipation for the Record Store Day. What was it, you know, in 2017 or whatever for the anniversary. So Tim Allen, I wouldn't say that you missed the list. It's really an underwhelming list. There's not a whole lot going on there. Beetle Brad says the Dusty Springfield does sound good. Yeah, definitely. Sam asked if I will be waiting in line or just order online. You know, I don't know, Sam. I'll be honest. It depends on where I am. My traveling can be, you know, different. And so I'm actually pulling up the Bull Moose site, and I'm just going to flip through here and kind of give you an idea of some prices based on that. The Life Aquatic, which I mentioned, about $30. That's what you're looking at on that. Yeah, that Big Brother and the Holding Company, that Live at Monterey, that looks really similar to the Who thing. Give me 1 second. I'll show you guys that record. Hey, I'm back. So yeah, this is the Who set that came out, and that came out, I think, what last year, the 1967 Who performance, and that's on that Monterey Pop label. You know, it came out on that beautiful red, white, and blue with that label. It's a nice Staunton jacket, really, really neat. So there's a Janis Joplin on that. So anyway, and it looks like it's gonna be about $23. I may grab that. I've kind of just now talked myself into that. Brad is asking about the Dusty Springfield. Let's see, and I'm just going in order. The Jim Carroll Band, that's going to be $25. The Dave Davies is about $30. I'm just kind of going through the whole thing here. The Isbell is going to be about $28. That's a 2-record set. So that's one I'm definitely in for. That's going to happen for me. The Modern English, I'm just going through, so I'm not seeing your comments. So if you're saying something, I can't see it, so I'm not ignoring you. The Chet Baker is about $25. The Willie Nelson, Merle Haggard, and Ray Price set, that's about $25. Let's see. The Weird Al single, it's a 12-inch, it's about $20. Let's see. The Aerosmith set is about $35. There's a Sam Cooke. I didn't mention the Sam Cooke, and I probably should have. It's the first mile of the way. It looks like it's a box set. It's $60. I would hope for $60 that would be a box set. The Jackson 5 ABC is on blue vinyl. That's $26 on that. How to Train Your Dragon soundtrack. Yeah. The Chris Isaac Sun Records thing, 10th anniversary, is $25. That Staple Singers is about $26. Let's see, the U2 EP of $26. They've At Brothers cassette is $13. And that's just according to Bull Moose. I'm just throwing out numbers. That Bee Gees actually looks cool. It's an early Bee Gees thing, Brad. I know you're all about that, Bee Gees. Let's see. There's a couple of cassettes here on the list. The David Crosby and Graham Nash Wind on the Water, that's $25. Let's see. And that's all that they have so far on the Bull Moose site. So I'm sure there's more. But that's all that's actually on the list. So I don't see the Dusty Springfield on here, Brad. So I don't know what that's going to cost. I have a feeling it's a 2-record set. My guess would be, just if I were throwing it out there, I'm thinking about $40 would be my guess. Anyway, I'm coming back to you guys. Let's see. All right, the U2 single is Gloria. It's the 40th anniversary, and it's an EP, it says, but the price on it would suggest otherwise. So, I mean, I don't know. Brad is showing some Z's. I think he's kind of summed it up. Really, to be honest, this list just doesn't have a lot of wow to me. It's got some. I mean, there's some great artists on there, but it's interesting. There's no Beatles single, which that seems odd, especially around, I guess, with the Let It Be hype for the Get Back stuff that's coming out. That would make sense. Like I said, there's just. I'll be honest, and I mean, I'm just talking to you guys. I think that. And yeah, Tim, you just made a point. They usually add more. It's still early days on this. And you're right. This is the first day. The list just got dropped today. But back to what I was just kind of saying just now is I honestly think that the pressing plants are so overwhelmed with, and they're so backed up. There's a press here in Asheville that I visited that may show up in a future video. But the pressing plants are just so overwhelmed right now and so backed up. It's just like a lot of stuff like that King's X that was supposed to come out on the regular record store day earlier this year, and it didn't. Hey, Deep Track Zach, go Braves. That's right. Chop on. Good to have you here in the discussion. The list is on the website recordstoreday.com, and so you can check it out for yourself. And I just printed it out as usual. So there's some stuff on there, and like I said, I'm definitely in for the Isbell just because I'm an Isbell fan. I think I've talked myself into the Janis Joplin just because that Who set was so nice. That Who set was so nice, and I really, really was glad to grab it. And that Who set ended up being sort of an add-on for me because it wasn't initially on my list, and I went back and grabbed it. That's the list, guys. I mean, it's underwhelming. I mean, I'll be honest, but I mean, maybe that's the whole plan. Maybe with not really sure what's going to happen with the COVID stuff that's going on, that maybe they wanted to kind of scale back. I just honestly think that the plants are overrun right now, and Sam, I think you're mentioning that you'll probably browse online that night. I think that's probably what a lot of people are doing now. I think the days of like breaking your neck and waking up at like 3 a.m. to go get in line, it is what it is. I mean, I'm not saying. I mean, look, there's probably some stuff that I didn't even mention that some of you would look at the list and go, "Wow, I've got to have that," and that's cool. I think the more varied the record store day list is, the better off it is. I like having a varied and different record store day list. It's just it makes for a good record store day in that everybody's not everything can't be Beatles and Rolling Stones and Pink Floyd. You got to have your Jim Carrolls and your Dave Davies and Dios and a little bit of something. So Sam, I imagine, and I'm going to answer for Brad. Yeah, he'll be there at 5 a.m. Brad will be out. He'll be out. And he'll probably be, with some other vinyl community members. Brad's like me, I think, in the sense that we both like the fellowship of Record Store Day. So, but I can't answer for Brad. He may not. He may stay in. Save the money, save the dollars. So while we're kind of finishing up record store day stuff, and if somebody thinks of early in the morning Athens, so Zach, you're in Athens. I plan on coming to Athens. Hopefully in the next. I don't want to throw a number out there, but you're getting out there. I think I'm going to want to do a video, and I've got a couple of ideas. I love Athens. It's a cool place. Zach, do you do 40 watt or do you do, or not 40 watt, but do you do low yo-yo stuff or do you Wuck Street? I mean, what's the record store day spot in Athens, Georgia? And Tim says he usually wanders in. You're about 40 minutes southwest. So that's a little bit of a drive. But Athens is a great town. I love Athens, and I plan to get out there in the next few months to do a video there. And I'd like to do some record store spotlights. And the obvious thing is to do like the REM sites. I know they're still there. To show that stuff, which I think would be cool. Probably make for a good video. So yeah. Funny enough, I lived in Athens for a very short time, and I worked at the Camelot Music. Zach, I remember when Low Yo was just a hole in the wall, and it's funny. You're dredging up some great memories. When I lived in Athens, and I worked at Camelot Music, that's where I met my friend Sean. Hi, Sean, and he's not here, but if he were. Low Yo-Yo was just a weird little spot, and there wasn't much to it. It was probably smaller than this room I'm in right now. And I bought, and it's funny how I remember this, I bought the Byrds Fifth Dimension. It was the reissue that came out in the mid-'90s. And I bought that at Low Yo-Yo way back in the day. Yeah, well, the last time I went Low Yo-Yo, Zach says it's still a hole in the wall. It was funny. I'm going to talk a minute about Athens and my memories of Athens. I was there in the mid '90s, around 97, 98, when I was in Athens. So Wuck Street was the sort of go-to. There was a Blockbuster Music, which is now long gone, which was sort of a big box mainstream store. You had Low Yo-Yo, which was not much to it. There was a used CD spot over there that's long gone. You had the what's funny now, it's now the last time I was in Athens, which has been a while. It was on the other side of Wuck Street. They had like the cheap there's like cheap records, like the dollar records, like you go in and dig. And that was there. And then, of course, you had the main Wuck Street store. And then right above Wuck Street is Bizarro Wuck Street, which Bizarro Wuck Street was, and I think it still is, was like more of like comic books and like collectibles. So here's the thing, and Zach, oh man, if I could build a time machine and find my way back to that time, and this is what I would do on my days off when I would just go digging. They had at Bizarro Wuck Street, upstairs above Wuck Street on that second floor, they had a room that was floor to ceiling, vinyl records, no rhyme or reason to it. They were just thrown in there in boxes, just stuff. And they sold records by the pound. And so Sean and I figured this out, that like roughly 3 vinyl records would be about a pound. And it was like $1.98 a pound. And of course, you know, it's that old saying, if I knew then what I know now, if I knew then what I know now, to go back and to dig in that spot, there's no telling what treasures I left up there in that room. But it was really strange because it was in that time period in the mid-90s when vinyl was just dead. Nobody wanted records. You couldn't give them away. So they had that room up there, and it was the last time I was there. I went upstairs and I think they've got it like curtained off or whatever, and it's not what it was. But I kind of stood there and thought, man, I remember when this was all records. I don't know whatever happened to those records, but anyway, it was like, and the thing was, it wasn't like you were going to go in there and find like butcher covers or like rare crazy stuff. There was a lot of Chicago records. It was a lot of 70s rock is what it was. The Carole Kings, the sort of what I would call nowadays the middle of the road common 70s records. But yeah, they were in good shape, Brad. The vinyl was in great shape. And I actually bought a few. Tim, thanks for stopping in. Go back after I end the stream, go back and watch. I go through the list kind of extensively. So definitely. So yeah, that's check it out. Tim, thanks for coming in. It's good to see you, and always appreciate you saying hi. Take care of yourself. So anyway, vinyl by the pound. But I mean, Brad, I want to say that I got my copy of Wings Over America in there. Again, 70s records, like all the Wing stuff was in there. But they had, and the weird thing about it was that they had like boxes of steel sealed records. And I know one of them was Ringo's Rotogravure. That was in there. Goodnight Vienna, steel sealed. And they had boxes of this stuff. And I think that's where my copies of those came from, because I bought them out of there. And I'm going to say it wasn't like high-end stuff, but I think there was some Police records in there. But it was just in that dead vinyl period that nobody wanted vinyl. Zach, I love Records Galore in Clarkston. That is a great place to dig, and I don't get down there as much as I would love to. My friend Sean, he spends some summers in Atlanta, and he always goes by there, and we refer to it as a honey hole because it is. Brad, we've got to get down there at some point. We've got to plan a meetup where we go down to Records Galore, because that dude has the Elvis. Like, if you want Elvis records, he has them. And as Zach said, he's old school, and he doesn't do like Record Store Day or any of that, but he's got some great stuff. And like, I think his wheelhouse is and Zach, you can help me out with this, is sort of 50s rockabilly and stuff like Elvis, Jerry Lee Lewis, that late 50s sort of period. He's really, that's his big thing. So yeah, Brad, we got to plan a trip to Records Galore. It's in Clarkston, right outside of Atlanta, and we could spend a day in Atlanta and do some digging. There's tons of stores down there that just, you know, Sean is always going up there and finding great stuff. every year. And there's some stores I think we could really go to work on. And it's funny when I go through Atlanta or I'm in that area, I never even get to like what I call the mainstream store stuff like Criminal and was it Wax and Facts. I never get there. So yeah. Oh look, original Zach found an original Safest Milk for a steal. And yeah, and so thanks for backing me up on that, Zach. 50s, 60s rock. So yeah, but yeah, it's a great store. And it's a honey hole. I mean, it's really the only way to describe it is a honey hole. So yeah, I love that place, Zach. I want to get back down there. I just I haven't had time or money. That's the other thing is just going down and doing that. Zach says you don't like Criminal Records and Wax and Facts. I can't even remember the last time I went in there. So I mean, more than I do on that. When I'm in the Atlanta area, I hit. I like to hit. There's a little place in a hole in the wall. I've not done a video on it, but it's Ella Guru. Speaking of Captain Beefheart, and that's a really cool store, and you can always find some neat stuff in there. And I like Ella Guru. There's always something interesting in there. All you need is money. Right, Brad. That's right. I try to hit Wuck Street. Wuck Street it's got the history and everything, and it's got a cool vibe in there at Wuck Street, but I'm not overly impressed with Wuck Street. Maybe it depends on what I'm looking for, and it just seems like they never have what I'm looking for at Wuck Street. So yeah, Wuck Street, and where else do I go down there? Like I said, our guy out in Clarkston. There's a couple other spots, and Sean has actually found some stuff. Yeah, that's the Wuck Street I'm talking about, and I guess it's in Decatur. I'm guessing. I don't know the area as well, and you probably are like right on top of it, and you're probably making fun of me, going, he doesn't know where it is. I know of 2 Wuck Streets, and so you may be talking about a third Wuck Street. I know of one that I say Atlanta, that may be Decatur, and then the one in Athens. That's the 2 Wuck Streets I know of. So there may be another one, but this Wuck Street, the one in Atlanta that I'm calling Atlanta, that may be actually Decatur, is like in a little strip mall kind of thing. Anyway. We may be talking about 2 different places, but I don't know. I don't live in that area, so I don't know. And I'm always kind of passing through. And when I do decide to go to somewhere, I just plug it in the GPS and say, there you go. Lithonia. So Zach, what is your store? I mean, is it got a name or anything? Because I'd like to check it out and maybe even do a video on it if you're cool with it. Maybe if Brad and I decide to do our little road trip, meet up somewhere, we can do that. So I'm always on the hunt for new records. So just to kind of keep conversations, I don't want to just sit here and whatever. I'm reading this book, There Was a Light. This is all about Chris Bell, the cosmic history of Chris Bell and the rise of Big Star. Kind of interesting. Oh, Brad says we need to go to downtown. Yeah, where Paul did the Run Devil Run cover. Yeah. Yeah. Hey Sam, you're invited. Any road trip you're invited to do. I mean, definitely. I that would be great. We could just find a place, and Zach, we could just head down your way. We'll make it a party. Like how I'm inviting, all of us to do that. So yeah, I'm always up for record digging, road tripping. The problem is. Oh, cool, Zach. So you're the manager of a hardware store, and the owner lets you use that's awesome, man. That is really cool. That is cool. What's the name of the store? we'll plug it here and send people in. Southeast of Clarkston. Okay, so yeah, we'll just make a whole like road trip of it, and just hit the whole Atlanta metro area, and we'll avoid the we'll avoid the bad guys like Criminal and Wax and Facts, which I mean I don't know. I mean, like I said, I can't even say. American Hardware Center. All right, cool. American Hardware Center in Lithonia, Georgia. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, Lithonia. You guys can go in there if anybody's watching this video after the fact. We can go down there and get some records. I'm always amazed at like the influx of vinyl that keeps going around and people that goes up. Vinyl Hub or Facebook? Nice. We'll do Facebook. American Hardware Center. While I'm thinking about it and it's on my mind, here I go, pulling up the browser. You like how I'm covering my mouth? I mean, this is the best social distancing that you can do. So, does the camera go off when I flip browsers? I hope it doesn't. So yeah, reading this book, The Cosmic History of Chris Bell. It's good stuff. So, hey man, Zach, I'm all about plugging, man. Plug it up. Plug away. If anybody's got to plug something, plug it. That's the beauty of these live chats. No, we see you. All right, let's do this. American Hardware Center. Still here, guys. I'm just going crazy. Zach, I've toyed with the idea of like opening like a stand or something. So it's funny, Sam, you brought up the monkeys thing, and I kind of alluded to that in the kind of title of the video, but discussing the recent sort of allegations of Michael Nesmith and elder abuse and some of the stuff that's going on. And I kind of wanted to take a minute in this video, and I'll probably stay on for an hour, I'm guessing. I mean, I know we're kind of talking, but so about 10 more minutes here and we'll wrap it up. But I wanted to mention, if you've been following online, the Monkeys tour and stuff that's going on with all that, apparently the first night was a little rough and Nesmith kind of shocked people. He's lost a lot of weight. He's not playing guitar. He's sitting on a stool. He's not really singing full voice. And so there's been some concern amongst fans regarding Michael Nesmith. And I don't want to get into all of that. I'm a Nesmith fan. Those of you who follow my channel, know that I love Michael Nesmith. And so it's hard when you're a fan, that it's a tough deal. But and it's hard. You see things through that. Yeah, Zach, loving it. But here's the thing with it. And I'm going to say this, and this is where I kind of want to put this whole thing. And I don't know if it's perspective, whatever you want to call it. But Christian Nesmith, Michael's son, addressed the issue. Andrew Sandoval, who's producing this tour, he addressed it. Apparently, some of the comments have been very hurtful. Nesmith has seen these comments, and it's made him a little sad. Here's the thing: Michael Nesmith is an 80-year-old man. He's almost 80 years old. If there's anything I know about Michael Nesmith, it's that he does exactly what he wants to do. He's not going to go on the road and tour if he doesn't want to do it. Michael Nesmith doesn't need our money. He doesn't need anything of that nature. He's not a broke old man. He's made millions of dollars through the years, and people that follow Nesmith know it's one of the things I lament about Nesmith. I almost wish he was more broke to make him a little more hungry to give us more music. That's selfish, and I know that. I'm recognizing that. Having said that, people get older and they age differently, and I don't think there's any truth to what the accusations are. I hope that they have a great tour. I think as the tour goes on, I think it's going to get better, and I can hope that it does. But let's just hope the best for Nesmith and the tour and everything. And those of us that are going to get to go to this show, let's enjoy it. So, hey, I went to American Hardware Center, and I am opening. Hey, look, I see some of the records there. Nice. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there you go. Ray Charles. There's a Sly Stone. I don't know how old this picture is. June. Oh, it's 2019. There's a Derek and the Dominoes. There's a Neil Young, Aretha now. Yeah, I'm digging it. So, yeah, I'm on there. Thanks, Zach. Thanks for the thing. Yeah, Sam, my thing is, and I recognize it as a selfish endeavor, that wishing that Nesmith was broke. I just feel like if he was, more hungry, he might be inclined to do more creative things. But I'm so grateful that Nesmith is touring. I'm grateful that we get a chance to even see and hear him. 15 years ago, I would have never thought that I could have seen Michael Nesmith. And so yeah, I'm really hoping that the tour kind of gains steam and that they go out on top with a good memory. And Nesmith may be sick. I know based on what we've seen of recent passings of major artists like Dusty Hill, ZZ Top, Tom Petty, that these guys were way sicker than we ever knew they were. And so we're not guaranteed tomorrow. So, let's make the most of it. So that's all I have to say about that. Another, I think, comparison that comes to mind about this thing with Nesmith is Brian Wilson and some of his recent tours, that he doesn't look good. He can't walk. They push him in a wheelchair to his seat. But, it's like, one hand, you want to see Brian Wilson. We're not going to see 1965 Brian Wilson. It's not going to happen again unless I have that time machine. At which point I'm going back to Bizarro Wuck Street to buy vinyl by the pound. That's what I'm going to do with my time machine. I'm going to load up on all those weird records that I overlooked because I just didn't know what I was looking at back then. I was a dumb kid. A dumb kid. So yeah. So I'm gonna start wrapping this thing up, you guys. I'm gonna post it. It'll be on my channel. So for those that want to watch and want to watch an hour worth of whatever we just did, anybody have anything to add, anything to say, and speak now? Do what you got to do. Thanks for joining us, Zach, Sam, Tim, Alan was in here earlier. Beetle Brad. Always great for Beetle Brad to join us. I feel like guest of honor to have Beetle Brad in our chat room. So that's always cool. So yeah, I hope to do some more of these live streams. That was part of the whole push of doing getting to 1,000 subscribers so I could do live streams. Because I do enjoy the interaction and I enjoy stuff like this, talking about just different stuff. Record Store Day lists, go check it out on recordstoreday.com, and you can get your own list that you can write on and mark up and all that good stuff. Again, it's underwhelming. I'm not blown away by it. There's nothing that floored me. I'm in for the Isbell. That's a definite. Probably in for the Joplin. And there's a couple other things that I'm questionable on, which when I'm questionable, it can go either way. So, that's what we're doing. So anyway, I'm going to end this in about a minute. We're about right at 55 minutes of doing this. Thanks to those of you that are watching. Thanks to those of you that subscribe to the channel. And if there's any money going around, it's coming to me, you guys. So, that's what we're doing. But so we can do this road trip. Glad you guys came in and chatted, those that contributed. Again, I really appreciate all the support that you guys give my channel. And everything. It's always a blast. I love talking about music. I love talking about records, and I love bringing you guys along. And it's great to the friendships that I've been able to make through the VC. And so I'm really grateful for that. We're going to do more of these. And what I may do, just thinking out loud, is probably like do a plan where I don't just pop on and do it. But I just didn't want to do a video and then post it and do the thing. I just figured let's do a live stream because it's more interactive and we can all talk about how things are. So guys, have a good night. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining the chat. Thanks for contributing. Thanks for being here. Have a great night. Hey, and as you all know, as I say, save the Texas Prairie Chicken. Have a good night. Bye.